What is the best "you effed with the wrong person" moment you've ever seen? A yuppie frat boy in an econ course I was taking my freshman year got caught cheating. At my university, we all sign a contract agreeing to their honor code policies, and cheating is an automatic expulsion. But the professor decided to be nice and was just going to give the kid a 0 on the exam. The frat kid doesn't think that's enough, and it turns into an argument. The kid starts saying how prestigious his family is at the university and how none of this matters because he'll just pull some strings. Long story short, our professor is actually close friends with the chancellor of our school. Not only did the kid get expelled from the school, but they somehow got him into legal trouble as well for some of the comments made in class that day. I don't know what was said that could have been used against him, but the kid ended up in some deep doo-doo. There was a family in my neighborhood that fostered a lot of Asian boys. One was in my class. A couple were older. They lived 3 houses down from my best friend, and he became very close with the boy in our class. We can call him John. In retrospect, it seems obvious that while he was in our class, he was obviously older and was probably placed with us so he could catch up with his education. He was a great guy. When we were in high school, a kid from the class ahead of us took a special interest in picking on my friend. He was constantly messing with him. It escalated to him challenging my friend to fights and finally showing up in our neighborhood. Eventually, he shows up one day and confronts my friend in the street. John witnessed this and comes out to challenge the bully and utterly and completely destroys this kid who had to be 50 pounds heavier. He was one of those big red-headed kids, and the much smaller, much faster Asian kid beat the crap out of him before he knew what happened. It was like watching a Bruce Lee movie live. Afterwards, my friend just walked up to me and said, "Well, I guess that's the end of my bully problem." It was. Another time, a different kid was fostered by the same family and was getting picked on relentlessly by some upperclassmen. They were using racial slurs and running him off the road with their cars when he rode his bike around. Finally, he had enough one day at school and gets into it with the ringleader of the bullies. Through broken English and a lot of Vietnamese swearing, he agrees to meet them at the only gas station in town after school to settle things. Kid shows up to the confrontation and removes a glass bottle from his bag, promptly breaks it, and brandishes the jagged glass like a knife. Cue the bully immediately running to his car and taking off while the kid says that this is how you settle your honor in his country, or something to that effect. No one messed with him anymore after that incident. Just a word of advice, people. Never, ever mess with the quiet kid, man. You have no idea what they are up to or what they are capable of because they always have their cards hidden. You might just be in for a rude awakening if you press the wrong button. I was on the road with my grandpa, he was a truck driver, and we had stopped for the night at a truck stop. We go to do our normal thing of showering, eating, playing a game or two, then sleeping. If you don't know, truck stops have separate room showers. I got out of the shower and was waiting outside for my grandpa to finish his. I go look at the glass figurines that most stops have and wasn't but 5 feet from the showers. Next thing I know, a man grabs my arm and starts dragging me to the door. I was about 10 at the time, but I looked about 6 or 7. Obviously, I don't know this man, and I start crying loudly, trying to grab onto something to stop him. Thankfully, my grandpa walked out at that moment and heard me screaming bloody murder. He ran, and I've never seen that man run before, to the guy dragging me, saying, "It's my daughter. I promise. Don't worry." That man flew to the ground so fast and hard. My grandpa's hand was bloody. Blood sprayed when he was hit. The man looked up at him and yelled that I was his daughter. My grandpa said, "I'm the grandfather. Care to try again?" As he got closer, cops came as my grandpa was straddling him and was about to beat him to a bloody pulp. Workers of the store backed up my grandpa, showed security footage, and there were even bruises on my arms. If my grandpa had been in the showers another minute, who knows where I'd be or what would have happened to me. I love you, Grandpa. And this is exactly why rest stops and truck stops just give me the heebie-jeebies, man. There's just a very eerie and creepy aura around those places, especially at night, and I just always get the feeling I'm being watched. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but this is crazy. And the sad thing is that this probably happens more often than we think, and are usually successful abductions. It's a sad world. One night, my dad had his garage broken into by some kids. We were in there working on some designs for the ducts of a house being built when some kid knocks on the door of the garage. We go out to help the one kid, whom we assumed was alone at the time, on the other side of the house from our detached garage. Dad goes around to the garage to get his set to help out and finds a different kid walking out with his 40-ounce bottle of booze. That kid got laid flat pretty quickly. I heard this interaction and shuffled my way over, abandoning the kid on the side of the house facing the big street. We're on the corner. I see the knocked out kid on the ground in front of the garage door with the bottle and know something is up. I go back around the house to see if they're connected, and the kid with the bike has taken off down the street on the bike that we were really just going to fix the brakes on. Knowing that kid 1 was gone and figuring there was 2 at this point, Dad heads into the house. Again, the garage is detached but not far, and finds yet another kid fumbling around in the bedroom where his keys were. He comes back out of the house and tells me to make sure they don't go anywhere. Both of them are out cold at this point, and he went off to chase down the kid on the bike. He ends up chasing kid 1 in his van down the street near a hardware store and bumps his tire from behind to kill his balance and knock him to the ground in the parking lot. I would say that was a night of violent justice. I was in a bar in Missouri. It was on the outskirts of Jeff City and had a nice mix of customers with various backgrounds. College students, city dwellers, country folk, etc. There was a group of white, preppy, 20-something guys acting like idiots. King of the idiots marches up to the bar and tries flirting with the bartender. She smiles and listens to him, but clearly doesn't care. He keeps spewing stupid pickup lines while his friends egg him on. Next to him is a thin black guy drinking a Cosmo. After the last failed pickup line, the thin black guy says, "She really doesn't give a flying crap about your pickup lines. She's just doing her job." King Idiot doesn't like that and starts talking mad crap about the black guy. Very immature, stupid stuff. The thin black guy keeps his cool, sipping his Cosmo. King Idiot calls him a gay slur for drinking a Cosmo and continues on a homophobic rant. Thin black guy finishes his drink and turns to King Idiot. King Idiot says, "What you gonna do, gay boy?" The thin black guy kicks him in the balls as he bends down in response to his annihilated testicles. The thin black guy uppercuts him in the throat. While King Idiot tries to comprehend what is going on, his friends come up behind him. Thin black guy kicks King Idiot into his friends. The bartender tells the flock of idiots to get the hell out. They help King Idiot to his feet and leave. Thin black guy goes back to the bar to pay for his drink. The bartender says, "Thanks, Marcus." Marcus replies, "No problem, see you later," and walked out to his car and drove off. That is the last time I saw Marcus. Yep, just like I said, man, don't mess with the quiet dude who's just keeping to himself and minding his own business. This is the perfect example. Better yet, how about we just agree to not mess with anybody in general out in public unless it's absolutely necessary? Sound good? Cool. Good talk. This will probably get buried, but I had one moment when I was 15 in class. The teacher had left to get something, and it was one of the few classes I had made an effort to take notes in an orderly manner. I have very bad handwriting because I write fast, but this time I took the effort to do it slowly and carefully. So I grab a bottle of water from my backpack and start drinking from it. The guy sitting behind me reaches and hits the bottle with his finger just a little, enough so it'll flip out of my mouth. So my clothes are now wet and my notebook is wet too. I'm usually a quiet guy, short, and never pick up fights or stuff, but I do yell back. So I stand right by this guy's side. He's still sitting, and everyone is expecting me to start yelling or insulting him. He has this smug, "Yell all you want, you'll still be wet" grin in his face. So I grab his head and slam it into his desk, and then do it again, and then kick his chair so he falls down while the guy next to him starts telling me to calm down. Then I go back to my desk, sit, and cross my fingers like nothing happened. Teacher comes in, finds everyone staring at me, this guy with a red face and me silent, so he asks what happened. Someone says Joe slammed Harold's head on the table. The teacher looks at him, looks at me, and then says, "Well, I didn't see anything, so moving on." After class, the teacher calls me and asks if I really did do that. It's important to note I was, as I said, usually quiet and well-behaved, and this teacher likes and trusts me. So I tell him the truth. I did slam this guy's head into the desk, and I explained why. The teacher just stares at me and says, "Well, I didn't believe it because, you never pick up fights. Well, just don't do it again." I apologized to the guy after that, and he apologized to me. But damn, it did wonders. No one picked on me until my last year there, but that's another story. Yep, noticing a trend yet? It's always the quiet guy. There was a bully in my high school class who liked to pants other guys. His goal was usually to get both the pants and the boxers, leaving the victim's ding-dong blowing in the breeze. After gym, the bully decided his target was a guy named Dan. Dan was a brilliant yet awkward guy, definitely on the spectrum. Dan was a tall, gangly guy and an easy target. However, Dan had a secret. He had just received his black belt in jiu-jitsu and was fully capable of absolutely destroying this dude with ease. I think you see where this is going. Anyway, the bully struts up to Dan and yanks his shorts down. Shorts, boxers, everything. Dan is left standing there fully on display with the whole class laughing at him. Dan calmly stepped out of his down shorts and put the bully into some crazy hold. Once he got the bully to squeal, he flipped him over his back onto the bleachers. The gym teacher saw the whole thing. The bully suffered a broken leg, missed out on his entire senior year of athletics, and was suspended. Dan received a warning not to break the legs of any more classmates. Damn, dude, imagine if that guy was counting on a sports scholarship to go to college. He would absolutely lose that chance if he had a broken leg the whole year. But it sounds like justice was served. Karma is wild, man. Oh, and once again, it's the quiet kid. Thanks for watching till the end, and don't forget to subscribe and like for more of these ridiculous stories. Love you all, and stay safe out there in that crazy world. Much love. Peace.